What's up, everybody? Well, the deed was done. 60 to 40. The CR in the Senate passes. No healthcare subsidies. What's up, everybody? Got a rambunctious cat because he's, nocturnal. Sleeps all day. Yeah. You purring. You a purr machine. Purr machine. But you guys didn't think he'd see it. Like, he's only like 6 months, maybe. Not even that. He's growing fast. Yes, you are. Are you going to do the live with me? I don't think you want to talk about Democrats. So, deed's done. 60 to 40. It passed the Senate. The House is going to try to do an ACA extension, but I doubt that's going to go in. So maybe it will, but I seriously doubt it. Really, they don't need to do anything. They just have to try to reconcile both of them. And really, since nothing has changed, there's nothing really to reconcile. It pretty much can go straight to the president's desk and then shut down. There's CR. That's it. And I want you, like, for those of you here, I want you to understand what a colossal screw up this is by Democrats. And it is colossal. Because I'm going to make a grim prediction of how the rest of this is going to go. And I'm going to tell you, tens of millions of people are going to lose their health care, their health insurance, and they're not going to get it back. Rural clinics are going to close and they're not going to reopen. And it is going to be bad for many, many years because this was the moment that we could have done something about it. It was right here. And this was the only time we could have done something about it. Down the road, that's not happening. And I'm going to tell you why. Because here's what's going to happen. Because this is what always happens. Right now was when we had leverage to actually get this across. That's when we had the leverage. It was right now. Yeah, it had gone on for 40 days, the shutdown, but we had leverage. Holidays were coming up. People were going to be majorly inconvenienced. People were going hungry. And it was Donald Trump's numbers were tanking. They were the lowest they've ever been. And we just come from an election where we basically had a mandate election. So here's what's going to happen now. Okay. For anybody that's under the delusion that we're going to somehow be in a better position come January, let me disabuse you of that right now. I'm telling you what's going to happen. One, we're going to get through the holidays and the economy is going to start showing signs of tanking. It already is, if you're paying attention. But it is going to get even worse. Okay? What happens after that is no one is going to vote for these healthcare subsidies because what's going to happen is Trump is going to push for austerity. Oh, we can't do healthcare subsidies. No, it's a bad plan. I've got a plan. It's going to be the best, amazing healthcare plan ever. And Democrats are going to say, well, we'll just have to wait and see what the president's plan is. And if he can run on it, because they know what's going to happen is the economy is going to crash and people are going to suffer. So well, who else you going to vote for? It's all you got is just Republicans and Democrats. That's it. And we'll vote for the Democrats because you can't really vote for a fascist, right? So they're going to tell us, oh, well, we got to wait until we're going to get health care. We're going to redo it. We're going to do all this stuff. Come 2026, we're going to get it done. And then we're going to vote a bunch of them in 2026. Okay. It's going to take that long. It's going to take till the end of the year. And then when they get in, well, guys, we don't have enough for the override for the veto for the president of the United States. So we're going to have to wait to 2028 and we're going to need the presidency. And then we can do something. We'll do something about housing and we'll do something about healthcare costs and we'll do something about all this stuff. Sound familiar? Have you been through this before? Yeah, I have too. At some point, you have to admit what the Democratic Party is. They are a corporatist party that is just for the rich in the same way that MAGA is. They're just the opposition party. They're the show opposition party. Now, again, I'm not telling you not to vote for Democrats because who the hell else are you going to vote for at this point? That's the problem. If we really want to do something about this, right? I know Brian Taylor Cohen's like, oh, we got to have a robust primary cycle. I've heard this before. I've heard this so many times. And it never comes. Sometimes it comes. Look at what they try to do in New York to Mamdani. Mamdani won a primary. He won the Democratic Party primary for mayor of New York. What did they do? What did Michael Bloomberg do? They dug up Andrew freaking Cuomo, a sex pest that was run out of his position at being the governor. That's why Kathy Hochul got in there in the first place. Hiding nursing home deaths, and God knows what else he's done. Horrible. And yet, they ran him against him anyway. I mean, Trump endorsed Cuomo. Elon Musk endorsed Cuomo. And he still claimed to be a Democrat. Are you kidding me? You really want to do something about the Democratic Party, you're going to have to pressure him from inside and out. That's the only way to do it. These elections, they're not about R versus D anymore. Not even close. It's about up versus down, haves versus have-nots. And there's becoming more and more have-nots. And that's it. It's that simple. It really is that simple. If you think we are going to get healthcare subsidies now, let me disabuse yourself of that notion. It is not coming. It's not. I want to be wrong. I promise you, I want to be wrong. I want Democrats to prove me wrong. I want them to prove everybody like me who's gotten fed up with them and say, man, I'm tired of Fred and all these other people. Like if they actually gave a shit about me. But, we're going to get it done. Chuck Schumer, like, we're going to keep fighting. You haven't fought yet, dude. So what's going to change suddenly in January? I really need to know what's going to change. Nothing's going to change, except the economy is going to be worse. And you're going to have pundits say, well, the smart thing for the Democrats to do is to sit back and do nothing. Because then the voters will turn out for them in November. That's what you'll hear. Doesn't matter that people are dying. Right now was the opportunity to stop this. Because the damage is coming. The economic impact is coming. It's on its way. It is going to hit. At least with healthcare subsidies, you could have mitigated some of it. Democrats could have stood strong. Hell, Trump looked like he was getting ready to break. He's offering $2,000 paychecks. He doesn't do that. He doesn't give away money because again, he thinks the U.S. Treasury is his money. He doesn't do that unless he's really underwater, and he really was. Those 8 Democrats just bailed out Trump and the Republicans. They bailed him out. And for what? When has MAGA or Trump ever returned the favor with Democrats? Ever. Name one time. This is worse than just bad politics. This is a straight up betrayal. And honestly, there's no other way to see this. Not from where I'm sitting. Well, it's just 8, Fred. I hear this too. I keep reading this stuff. Well, it's just 8, Fred. It's not the whole party, Fred. Yeah. Okay. Why aren't people kicking and screaming on this? Where's filibuster? Where's Cory Booker? Where's all these people holding the floor ad nauseum to prevent this, to prevent their own party from doing this? Where were they? Where are they? Damn sure ain't in the Senate. Where's the all-nighters of those supposed progressive lions holding the floor hour after hour after hour to keep this going? Where are they? They're not there. Great, man. You're going to give us speeches. I'm sure fascism will say, oh, man, they gave a speech. Well, we better stop all that fascism. You can't keep telling us that this is the most dangerous moment in American history and then keep acting like everything's normal, unless this is the normal you're looking for. I can't carry water for this party anymore. I'm not going to. I flat out refuse. Well, then I guess you're MAGA now. Yuck, yuck. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not MAGA there, fool. Yeah, I saw a lot of that today, too. No, that's the problem. And I was part of that problem. But you know what? Things have changed. Yeah, maybe it was R&D when there were gatekeepers and corporate media was all that we have. But we don't have that anymore. We're getting an independent media space. We're connecting like we never before. No Kings is twice now in a row the biggest single day protests in American history. And that is absolutely amazing. It shows really what people power can do. And yet, did it stop those turncoats from being turncoats? No, not at all. So what the hell's calling their office and leaving emails really going to do? When the hell's that ever changed minds on this party? It hasn't. Not in a while, because it's broken. The system is broken. And it is not broken in our favor. That's the hard reality. I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that, oh yeah, we can fix the Democratic Party. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't. That doesn't mean that you should never ever vote for a Democrat. Absolutely vote for the lesser of two evils. But if we're not focused on giving ourselves more freaking options by ballot initiatives, here's another thing. Well, if you're independent, then you can't vote in the primaries. That's only in certain states. That's not in all of them. That's not in all of them. And guess what? If your state does not have an open primary, you can push forth a ballot initiative and make it an open primary. I guarantee you there are going to be people all across the political spectrum that are going to want that. Maybe you get an independent candidate that works out better than R's and D's. Maybe we start to break this party because independent media is starting to break the corporate media monopoly. Because again, we have come to a place where the corporate structure of our media, of our politics, of our two political parties, none of it is serving us. And they have no interest in serving us. Period. You know what? You want to switch your affiliation back to Democrat to vote in the primary? Do it. And then go back to independent. I literally changed I'm in Colorado. I changed my affiliation to unaffiliated today. It's going to take 72 hours. If I want to change it back just to vote in a Democratic primary, I'll do it. And then I'll change right back. We got to stop we have got to stop giving unearned loyalty to people that just expect it. We need fighters if they're going to lead. We don't have, right now in party leadership, we don't have those. Not the Democratic Party. We do not. We have to stop treating our politicians like they're celebrities, that they're darlings, that they're ours. Oh my God, they're so amazing. Oh, Jasmine Crockett's babe. Jasmine Crockett's a politician. She works for us. I like her. I think she's feisty and fiery, but I'm not going to worship this chick. I'm not. That's over. If this is serious business, then we need to treat it like serious freaking business. Enough of this garbage. This is I swear, man, I loved Obama when he was in office and he inspired me, but I think he was one of the worst things that ever happened to us. In the sense of we're always searching for the next Obama. We want to treat freaking our politicians like they're just like Obama, like they're a celebrity. Like, oh my God, isn't Gavin Newsom so awesome and cool? No, man, Gavin Newsom's a political animal. Before he started doing all this crap that he's doing and taking the piss out of Trump because he got a kick-ass social media manager, he was interviewing Charlie Kirk. He was interviewing Steve Bannon. Like, oh, we got to reach out, guys. And when that strategy fell flat on its face, he pivoted. Yeah, guys, I had to stab you in the back, uh, you know, because, well, we had to open the government, guys. And unfortunately, we had to be the adults in the room. Yeah, you know what? An adult would tell you the truth. Like I'm doing right now. That's what an adult would do. Your political leaders would tell you that. Like, hey, it's either pay now or we're going to collapse later. We have to hold this line. That's it. We don't get health care subsidies now. We're not getting them. That's what they should have told us. That's what their stance should have been. And you know what? We would have backed them. 100%. There is no way that you are a career politician, right? There is no way you are a career politician at that level and you see what happened on Tuesday with that kind of electoral sweep and you go, man, I don't think we got a mandate. I don't think the people are behind. Donald Trump said it himself. We lost because people are mad about the shutdown. No shit. And what did Democrats do? Oh, golly, boy, well, we got to rush to bail out the Republicans from this shutdown. Yeah. So either I don't think Chuck Schumer's an idiot. I don't think these other Democrats are idiots. maybe John Fetterman. But he was smart enough to get elected. But what I do think is it's like, hey man, yeah, the money classes, yeah, they're kind of getting nervous about this shutdown. We gotta healthcare subsidies be damn man. We gotta turn the spigot back on. Okay, well, here's how we'll do it. Y'all ain't running next year. Okay, cool. Y'all go out there and you take the hit for the team. And by the time you run again, everybody's going to forgotten about all this stuff. They'll forgot about it. Y'all willing to do that? Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. We'll get you some donor money and we'll pass that along to y'all. That's how that went down. That's how that went down. I don't have proof of that, but I'm not dumb. I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. My other favorite saying is, I may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm in the drawer. We are at a point in our country where it is going to take citizen activism and democracy to turn this ship around. Our elected leaders are not going to save us. Not the ones we currently have. Not the ones we currently have. It is up to us to figure out a way to push these fools out. And I am firmly convinced it is going to have to be inside and outside the party. You are going to need a coalition of independents, a large one, that is going to have to push both major parties in a direction back to the center or back to sense, and then internal people pushing the shitty leaders out. I'm sorry. You are not going to get everyone to join the Democrats. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. But what you can get is you can get enough people organized as independents, and then the people inside the party saying, hey, this is what that big coalition wants. This fool that you're putting up is not going to get the job done. We need to vote for this other person. It's what has to happen. And I'm telling you, we got to make space for both of them. We have to. I can't carry water for this party anymore. They piss me off, and they piss me off for the past I don't know how many years. Biden was the last straw for me. Don't have anything against the man, but the man didn't go far enough. He tried to save an institution by not. Here's how you should have saved the institution. You hold the guy responsible for January 6th accountable. That's it. That's how you save it. That's hell and gone from here. That's hell and gone from here. We can't let the Epstein files be the same thing. We can't. And I'm telling you now, those people in power in both parties do not want it to come out. They want to sweep that shit under the rug because it's so pervasive. They don't want to touch it. We can't have leaders like that anymore in either party. Can't happen. A lot of people have asked me today, it's like, oh, I guess you're giving up. No, 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 no. I'm not giving up. All I'm doing is getting closer to what I've been advocating. Keeping the faith in American people and defending democracy. Today, Democratic leadership in the Senate showed they do not want to defend democracy. They do not want to defend the American people. They're fine with potentially millions suffering or dying around the world or with hunger. Right now was the moment you could have done something. You could have reinstituted USAID. Where the fuck's that? Nowhere. Wasn't even a question. You could have increased SNAP benefits. Where was that? Nowhere. All literally, it was the smallest ask you could get, which is actually gonna hurt red states constituents way more than blue states. Republicans still wouldn't go for it. Why? Because dear leader probably doesn't understand it. Hell, he doesn't know what mortgages are. 50-year mortgage. There's no such thing, Donald. 20 years, man. I have been a Democrat. I've been a Democrat for damn near 20 years. I got politically involved. I got politically active during the during the Iraq War. I busted my knees. I'm a veteran, and I wasn't I didn't get activated like my unit. My unit eventually got activated in '06 during Kirkuk. And I had friends come home all fucked up from my reserve unit. I used to see them at the VA. And that's what got me into politics. My sister's a disabled veteran. My father was a veteran and a federal employee. My was a federal employee. And to see where we've ended up from hope and change to now, it's freaking sad, man. It's freaking sad. This is ridiculous, man. And I can't carry water for this party anymore. I can't do it. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. Other people can. Other people can believe that it can be changed. I don't. Mm-mm. I think they're corporatists. I think that it's time to start thinking something different. You know, that's where I'm at. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to vote for a lot of these fools. You know, and until we get something different. But at this point, these corporatist measures are not going to work. They're not. It's crazy to me that I'm a disabled veteran. I busted my knees in a training accident. I busted my hands too. And I got my 100%. I get free healthcare and dental at the VA. I just got it. I've been fighting for it for years. For a long time, I didn't put in for it, you know, because I thought, well, only, that's a whole other toxicity from there, right? There are people that are envious of me because I don't pay for healthcare. I don't. I get free dental, whatever. Colonoscopy, I can get that. I had a lump removed from my leg. Didn't cost me a dime. Didn't cost me anything. And there's people that are envious of me. Because again, I was on the other side of it. I was working, man. Used to be a Teamster. I used to throw bags for a living. I was an operations manager. I know what that's like. And now we've gone so far where it's like people are envious of disabled veterans. What in the fuck, man? We're that far? It's just crazy. I mean, it's nuts how bad private insurance has gotten. How insane it was. It's nuts. I make more money now on disability than when I was an operations manager back in 2019, 2020. I was running a flight line. I was one of 4 in an operation of, my God, 500 employees, and I make more now. Nuts. Insane. You know? And yet they want to take us. They absolutely do, Mike Sever. They absolutely do. They took it from teachers. They're coming for us next. They're already starting. They're already starting to try to take it away from veterans. We're not immune. We're not immune anymore. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to just have this health care. I want every American to have access to the same health care I do. If you need it, it's there. It's part of what you get for being in this country. Do you think that this party, if you gave them a mandate, is going to deliver universal health care? Truly. You truly believe that? I don't anymore. I really don't. Do you think they're going to actually tax billionaires? I don't think so. At least MAGA, they're telling you who they are. They're like Christian nationalists. They're fascists, straight up. Democrats, that party leadership is like, well, well, when we get enough, we'll get enough. They keep raising that carrot, and we keep jumping higher and higher. At some point, I'm tired of jumping. And it pisses me off because I know people are going to 400,000 young kids died around the world because of what they did to USAID. 400,000 because of Doge. Any hearings on that? Nope. Any prosecutions headed up? Nope. Mm-mm. No. You're going to see Elon Musk dragged before. Do you think that if Democrats take power in 2026, that they're going to drag Elon Musk before committee and question him on what he did with the data they got from Doge? I don't think so. I'd be shocked if they did. And anybody that suggested it would tell us, "Oh, you got to move on. Oh, you got to move on. You got to move on." They're going to tell us the same thing. They're going to tell us the same thing when these subsidies expire in January. And we're going to see a bunch of these Democrats get on TV And they're going to say, I'm just as outraged as you. We negotiated with them. We reopened the government and we negotiated that with them in good faith. And to do this to the American people, it's unconscionable. How could they do this? They keep doing it though. So why are we giving them unearned loyalty? At some point, we have to accept who they are. Hey man, you want to stay in the party and you want to fix it, you want to push, hey, go for it. I ain't got the energy for that no more. I tried. I can't do it. I ain't got the energy for it no more. I got to put my energy somewhere else. I'm not going to disparage anyone from trying to fix to try to do what they can. I'm not. But don't try to sell me on an okie doke. You know, to quote Bodie Brockis from The Wire, when it comes to democracy, I'll do what I gotta. Just don't ask me to live on my fucking knees. That's what the Democrats keep asking me to do. They keep asking us to live on our fucking knees, and one day, we're not gonna do that anymore. Because they're gonna get it done. That day never comes. I'm not living on my knees anymore. I'm gonna get my ass up and I'm gonna try to figure something else out. I'm gonna try to go find the like-minded people around me that think like me and say, hey man, we need to figure this out. Okay, let's start. Y'all want to stay in the party? Try to fix it. Go ahead. I I wish you the best of luck. I'll give you all the help I can. But don't ask me to freaking swallow that okie doke. Don't ask me to live on my knees. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not carrying water for these fools. I'm not doing it. You want me to come back? Earn it. Show me something. No, you can't throw away all Democrats. But I can say their party's fucked up. And if they're not doing anything to change it, they're part of the problem. Period. It's time we fucking stop cutting these people slack. Just because Jasmine Crockett gets sassy on fucking camera doesn't mean she gets a pass. Just because AOC and Bernie tour the country and hold rallies and say, this is what's wrong. We know what's wrong. What are you going to do to fix it? You're closer to these fools than I am. Go do something. Stop giving them passes, man. If you're serious about changing this party, say, yeah, that's great. What else are you going to do? Huh? Well, I really took it to those Republicans on that committee. That's great. Sound bites are fantastic. I get a kick out of them. What are you going to do about Chuck Schumer? What are you going to do about Hakeem Jeffries? You going to call them out publicly? If you're not, you're part of the problem. Straight up. That's how we have to talk. Nobody gets a pass. Independents, Republicans, Democrats, nobody gets a pass. I don't care if Jesus Christ becomes a Democrat, and solves SNAP by giving fishes and loaves. I'm be like, hey man, that's great. It's like, but yay, I've healed the blind and the sick. Yeah, man, how can you do that nationally? What about universal health care? Well, I'm only one man. Well, you better get on it. Go be a miracle worker and get me a Democratic party that fights. We get the political parties we demand, and we don't demand much. That's the problem. Demand more, expect more, push. One way I'm pushing, I'm leaving this damn party. They can come get me when they're ready. Yeah, I'm gonna end up having to vote for Democrats because I'm not voting for a fascist. I'm not voting for an authoritarian, and not voting is not the answer. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if an independent in my district or in my county has a shot at winning, a real shot, like Mamdani, I'm voting for them. That's it. You don't automatically get my loyalty. You don't get donations if you're a Democrat from me. I'll be damned if I give any money to the DNC anymore. We're out of your mind. Starve. You're a useless organization anyway. What the hell are you doing? You know? Apparently not enough because as of today, or when those healthcare subsidies run out, that's it. That's going to be it for a lot of people. A whole hell of a lot of people that are already on the line. So yeah, I'm telling you, like, oh well, they got more funding for SNAP. Oh, they got this little crumb over here. They got this fantastic, but they just threw away all their leverage. It's gone, and they know it's gone, and they don't care because when it gets bad, they're going to go, well, we'll fix it if you vote for us in 2026. And then when that comes and we all vote for those Democrats, well, we don't have the presidency, so we can't fix it. And then they get the presidency. Well, we don't have the Supreme Court. Well, you could add more justices on the Supreme Court. No, that would be wrong. We just try to convince people that, well, status quo is the way to go. Yeah. I wish I had an answer. I don't, you know. All I know is at this moment, man, I can't stomach this. I've swallowed a lot with this Democratic Party over 20 years. I've swallowed FISA. I've swallowed Patriot Act. I've swallowed freaking them refusing to repeal the AU that authorization of use of military force, the revamp of Afghanistan, like all the things that I'm like, no, no, no. I've swallowed a lot in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, I've even been the one like, no, things are incremental. Like, oh no, it has to happen incrementally. This ain't an incremental moment. It's not. And all they're doing is making it harder. So yeah, man, I can't swallow this. I can't swallow this one. I just can't. And I'm not going to this time. No. So I'm no longer a Democrat. And I'm okay with that. Everybody's got to make their own choices. But I can't in good faith call myself a Democrat, knowing deep down I can't stand this freaking party. Exactly, Mike Sever. Has anything the Republicans done been incremental? No. So how do they get it done? Oh, that's right. They just do it. Yep. I get it, man. If y'all are frustrated, y'all are upset. You have, I'm telling this out of all the things that, where am I planning to go? I'm planning to go independent, Rita. That's where I plan to go. I'm going to vote for the politician that makes the most sense. I'm not joining a party anymore. I'm done. I'm done with political parties. I won't do it. Nope. And I'm going to do whatever I can to try to make sure like we change this system and get more options to where we can actually have a democracy. That's my overriding goal. Basically, my job just got as a citizen just got a lot freaking harder. Y'all think you can reform the Democratic Party? Please, by all means, go ahead. I don't think you can. I just don't think you can. But you know, but yeah, no, I'm not going to MAGA. I damn sure ain't going to no Republicans. I want to see them all go to jail. Oh yeah, I heard about the pardons, BJ. I heard about them. Yep, they picked a good day to do it. Probably was the point. Hmm. Yep. I mean, if you're mad, I, it's not about giving up, Anna. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on democracy. I'm just giving up on the Democratic Party. You know, other time, I'm just not. I'm not. There is no hope for reform at that party. Zero. Not in my eyes. You know. But I do think there are things we can do as Americans that can move the ball forward. Constitutional amendments are one thing. Putting pressure on both parties because Trump ain't gonna be here forever. You know. Exactly, Noble. I'm an unaffiliated voter because I want actual fighters, not pretend fighters. I don't want to run for office. I'm not that guy. You know, I'm really not that guy. That takes a certain kind of person to run for political office, and that ain't me. You know, no, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, which is trying to talk to y'all, trying to be as honest as I can, trying to be as authentic as I possibly can, and live by my values. And unfortunately, the Democratic Party has long since my values and their values have gone this. They're too far apart now. They're not progressive enough for me because apparently I'm a radical. Because I don't want to have. I don't think people should go hungry in the most affluent nation in human history. I don't think I. I think everyone should have universal health care. I don't think there should be billionaires, or at least not by exploitation. Taylor Swift, sure, she earned it, no problem. But Elon Musk, oh God, no, tax that fool out of existence. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at. LeBron James, entertainers like that, they're worth over a million. Yeah, sure, right, no problem. But or over a billion, yeah, whatever. But some jackass that like has exploited some you know private insurance CEO, no, that's just extracted wealth from the economy, not created anything of value or benefited on people's misery? No. I'm sick of some of these Democrats like, well, we can't support trans people because oh my god, it's gonna scare the normies. No, hell with you. Civil rights for all. Period. Full stop. That's it. Trans people included. We don't throw people in our coalition under the bus, especially people who just want the right to live their lives. That's it, and have the space to do it in. We'll get through this. We're gonna get through it. I still believe that. We're gonna get through it. We're Americans. We're making some pretty damn tough stuff. We're gonna get through it. We've gotten through worse. We're gonna get through it, and we're gonna be better. I just don't think I'm gonna be a Democrat when we get through it, and that's okay. If you want to stay a Democrat, you want to do the good work, you want to put push in that party, man, go right ahead. They need people like you. I ain't one of them. At a certain point, this is what I've learned in leadership. At a certain point, you get to a place where you're not going to be of any help, and I'm not going to be any help over there anymore because I'm going to cuss them all out. Not cuss them out and try to say, "Hey, we should do this better." Just cuss them out. You know, when you get to that place, you ain't gonna be effective no more. You gotta hang it up. You gotta do something different. Oh hell no, I don't like the Republicans. God no, I can't stand them. I think that party should be disbanded. I think they're like the Nazi party. They need to be disbanded, and every single one of them that has enabled Trump needs to be tried and go to prison. We need to have demagnification, like they had denazification in Germany. We need to have demagnification in the U.S. Now, do you think that the Democrats are going to call for demagnification? That they're going to call for that? Not after what I saw today. Not after what I saw today. Nope. They're going to want us all to move on for the betterment of the country. Got to move on. We did that with George W. Bush. Look where it got us. We did that with Merrick Garland and Jan 6, and look where it got us. At some point, you got to call a spade a spade. At some point, you got to call balls and strikes. At some point, you got to hold people accountable. A fascist is a fascist, and they're doing fascistic shit. And we got to hold them accountable. Otherwise, it will happen again and worse. And they're going to try to convince us, guys, nobody wants to do that. Got to move on. We got to vote for this health care that we've been saying we're going to vote for. We've got to, we've got to try to raise the minimum wage. I mean, even though we're not going to, but like, man, we got to try to do all. No, no. Hmm. Oh, I want trials too, Noble. Oh, I want trials. I want them televised. All this stuff does is keep us from doing the actual work of making things better for the American people. That's what it does. Tough day. Damn tough day. Hmm. Well, do what you can when you can. It's going to get rough for a lot of people. It's going to get real rough. So, yeah. Normally, you know, if y'all watch my stuff, I'm normally one of the people say, "Oh, it's not that bad," or "Oh, here's what's," you know. Nah, today was bad. Today was really bad. This is where we should have held the line, and we failed. Our Democratic leadership failed us, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get hurt. And it's going to suck. So don't forget it. Hang on to it, and hold those people accountable when the time comes. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I appreciate y'all showing up. So keep the faith, defend democracy, and I'll see you later.